Then as we head up, of course, they're going to send people to fight us. So we're going to be kind of just trapped here to fight a few battles. Put away that grenade. And the good news is there's no left arms or anything you have to worry about until basically the very end. So you can just go to town on these guys. This is just the first fight of many, though. Like I said, there's some pretty tough ones coming up here soon. Oh, yeah, and of course some geckos show up. So fighting two of them in this like really confined space is not the easiest task in the world, especially when you get back into a corner. There we go. I got one of them to charge. Thankfully, managed to get that. Now we have full fuel cells, so we can just execute them. It's definitely very cramped here. I think this marks the first break point. I'm not sure. I think there's going to be a couple different kind of ratings here. Yeah, our alert goes away, and that's the first battle. Didn't do too well, but you know, like I said before, ranks I'm not too concerned about.
Look up, Raiden! Another freight platform! Look out! Incoming!
Okay, so a couple shield dudes. These guys are no real problem. Oh, I thought I actually got both there. I think I was actually too high up to hit the other guy. That's unfortunate. That would have been an awesome, like, double Zendatsu there. And you can see a Raptor showed up on our platform and just hit me from off camera, so that's always fun. Ah, it's bad when you like can't even see the attacks that are coming your way, you know. So Raptors are another type of enemy that the Psy might work decently on. Oh wow, he actually stunned me. I didn't even see that field coming out. So we can hit him a couple times. I don't want to just like take him out completely with it. You can see that took away one of his legs, and we can just chop off the other one with blade mode. That'll make him basically harmless. He'll stun us a bit, but you know, it's really all that matters. Oh, nah, I took him apart and didn't get the Zendatsu. That's awesome. Oh, alright, so Fenrir says I didn't know what was going on there. Like, nothing was happening. Okay, so I don't know if we've got another break here, if we're just going to go straight into the next section. Okay, another break. And to get a B. Also, you kind of want to get away from that fuel tank, by the way. Because that's why. If you're close to it or like on top of it or something, you will actually take damage. That wasn't exactly fair. I was trying to wait to counter the first one, and then the second one's like, oh, I'm just going to stab you straight away.
Careful, Raiden. The elevator cannot take much more of this. Jump to that adjacent platform. Odd. The platform is losing speed. Scheiße! The Skyporter interfering.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell our freight elevator's definitely not going to take too much more of this. And we've got these dwarf gecko kind of slowing the other ones, so we can't quite get to it. We're also going to have a couple of these cyborgs spawning. So you want to take these guys out quick because there's actually a data storage hidden among them in the very last cyborg that you kill. And of course, if you stay on the elevator too long, it will actually explode and you'll have to start over. So you kind of have to be a little bit quick about it, all while kind of taking out the dwarf geckos intermittently. They don't really matter too much, but you know. Alright, so we're going to have our next two spawn. These are actually the last two. One of them, however, is a heavy cyborg, so that's a bit of a pain. Let's just go ahead and take this guy out. No real need fooling with the combos or anything. But this guy, we're going to have to do a bit of work to take out. I'd like to get in a counter battle with him if possible. If he doesn't just kick me. Okay, there we go. That works for me, actually. If you kind of get hit by the first attack and then counter the second, it usually leaves them open, so it's actually somewhat helpful. You can see once he explodes, the data chip comes out. Now we can just focus on getting off this thing if we take out these tripods and let the other freight elevator kind of fall back down to us.
Jump right to the other elevator. Right, hurry.
Okay, so there we go. You'll get a couple kind of voice cues when it's getting close to exploding. You'd still have like maybe a minute after that, so that wasn't too bad. Of course, your time on that battle, if you get the data storage chip, is always bad, but, you know, did fine for the rest of
We
it.
are deploying security from the top floor to the freight elevators. Your path to the server room leads right through them.
Okay, so one more battle coming up here. I've got this hammer guy as well as a few sliders coming up. This is where I'm going to use that new move we bought. If you kind of hold the analog stick in a direction while doing the kick, while hitting triangle, you'll actually kind of do, I think I need to unequip my secondary weapon here. If I get a chance, there we go. You'll actually do this, oh man, this guy's got me in a corner. Okay, like seriously, dude? This is getting kind of bad. Let's go ahead and just get Ripper mode out here so I can actually get out of the way. This hammer guy, oh wow, I actually chopped off his arm in Ripper mode. That's probably never ever going to happen again. I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm getting knocked out of the air. See, this is one of the fights that's pretty bad. This is the move I was trying to do. I want to target one of the sliders with it though. I'm like stuck on the hammer guy. There we go. If you can do that, you can actually get a pretty good chance to use blade mode on them. Unfortunately, I'm low on fuel cells, so I'm going to have to attack them a bit. There we go. Then you can stun them like this. This is what I've been trying to do this whole time, but they just don't cooperate. This is one of those really tricky battles. Okay, and you can see a Mastiff has also come up here, so that's fun. I can take this one out as well. Okay, now at this point, I think all the sliders are gone. And okay, it's just down to the two Mastiffs because we actually took out the hammer guy as well. So at this point, it's not too bad. If you still have the hammer guy alive at this point, this battle can be tough because the two Mastiffs will still spawn. But if it's just these two by themselves, it's not too bad. This is one of those where I would definitely recommend Ripper mode if you had all three of them still around. But with these two, I'm pretty confident I can just take them out normally. Although, you know, it would speed things up a bit. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so we managed to get out of that one. That's probably, I would think, actually one of the hardest battles in the game. No kills. Huh. I guess because of that one hammer guy that I just got by chopping off limbs. I guess it didn't actually kill him, so hey, I'll take it. Free S rank, you know? But yeah, I would actually consider that probably one of the toughest battles in the game. I mean, the three sliders at the beginning are just really annoying. The hammer guy can be tough when you're fighting other things. The two Mastiffs are relentless. So that's definitely one of the harder ones. We can kind of slide into this little hidden compartment here if we want, and we definitely want to. A few items hidden around, as well as our next man in a box. So we'll leave him be again and just make our way out through here. Now if we cut up these boxes and then kind of look away, there we go. They clear out and reveal a VR mission underneath. And nothing too important on the other side. I think it's just some type of grenade. Oh, well, you know, BP. I guess we'll take it.
The server room's ahead?
Yes, according to what I have here.
What should I expect to find? If they're VR training those brains, I'm guessing it won't look like your typical IT department.
Quite right. Most of it will likely be occupied by life support units, feeding oxygen and nutrition to the brains they have stored, you know. They will also need a server to feed them the VR data, but in terms of structure, it's really more brain storage and maintenance than a server room. But no doubt it makes a convenient euphemism for what they are really doing there.
Yeah, like how CIA agents refer to where they work as the company.
Indeed. Something like that would never arouse the suspicions of rank-and-file staff who may hear it. And I'm sure those complicit in this operation feel better not calling it the VR training room. Even something so simple as a name can help one ignore the truth of what they are doing. Truly fascinating how the human brain works.
So this, whatever room, that's where Sundowner's waiting, right? If he wants a fight, I wish he'd just get on with it. He didn't seem the type to run and hide.
Well, he is in charge of security, but I suspect this is not about business. If I had to guess, I would say he is toying with you, testing you, perhaps.
Whatever he's doing, it won't change what's going to happen once I finally catch up with him.
Okay, so we are right outside the server / brain storage / VR training room. Let's go ahead and open it up. And hopefully Sundowner's waiting within. Been kind of waiting to take that guy out since the start. However, before we get to that, you can see there's just a little ways to go. You can sort of see the server room on the mini-map. Well, if it zoomed back out, you can kind of see that white ring on the outside. That's where the server room is, but one more room to get through before that. And I'm also going to go ahead and equip the pole arm, because I know we're going to need it.
What? Mistral? She's...
No. A spare fortified, I had to guess. Likely controlled by an AI.
So yes, we're going to have to fight Mistral again, or at least something that kind of resembles Mistral. It's a body double controlled by AI, which is definitely, obviously, much easier than the actual boss version of her. It's controlled by AI. It's not actually her. So, a couple of things are different. She doesn't really have, like, multiple phases. It just kind of repeats this same sequence over and over. Also, breaking her guard is a lot easier. You basically just have to keep attacking, and, eventually you'll get your chance. You don't really need to worry about strategy too much at all. That charging attack can be pretty quick, though, so you really want to make sure you see it coming. And otherwise, just keep it up with the pole arm and keep hitting the tripods. You can also actually get your combo up really high if you can manage to avoid damage. I've seen it. I've actually gotten it up to like over 200 just from this battle alone. Alright, so let's start going to town on her again. You can see we've already got her down like, 50% or so. So we're making pretty quick progress. And of course, the tripods do still drop repair units, so you really don't need to worry about your health like at all in this fight. And of course, their boss music does still play during these fights, but it never switches over to the vocal version, which I think is kind of appropriate because, we're kind of fighting like a shell of them. It's not actually them, so you don't actually have the person singing it. It's just kind of like a facsimile, of the person they were before. So it's kind of interesting. I kind of like that. Just a little thing that you don't really think about too much, but when you think about why it is, it actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, tripods, come on now. Okay, and that does it for Mistral. No special finishing animation or anything. And we get a little bit of a break here. Door's not opening, though.
And it's spare Monsoon? Well, if it's AI controlled, it should pose no problem for you, yes?
And of course, we have to fight Monsoon again as well. Again, though, he's much easier. The battle is a lot simpler than the actual boss fight was. You know, doesn't have any of the cool magnetic stuff. He will go into it occasionally, and there's actually another way you can sort of take care of him when he does that, which I'm gonna try to show. I need a minute to actually get the Psy out, though. Alright, so there we go. So if I can use it, I'll go ahead and get it out here. Where is he? There he is. So basically, there we go. So once he goes into magnetism, okay, he's going to do the smoke grenade thing again, which is fine. He's doing this a lot for some reason. It doesn't usually happen that often. Can't see. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now he's, as you can see, got that purple aura. You can actually, oh man. It wasn't letting me target him there for some reason. Okay, so if he does it again, we'll show it then, but you may have been able to guess. The trick is that you can actually use the Psy when it's charged up to get him out of that magnetism mode. Wow, okay, I've never actually seen that combination of attack before. Like, he doesn't have the purple aura, but he's still split in half. I'm not sure what was going on there. That was weird. Alright, so he's down to 25% or so. He's just about done. Okay, well, he's purple again. This is an attack we actually didn't get to see during the boss fight. He just kind of goes back and forth. It's pretty simple to just keep parrying, you know. And then we can... There we go. Finally got it. I was hoping I'd get to show that. This battle usually doesn't give me as much trouble as it's giving me, but he's doing some, you know, slightly unusual things here and there. Alright, down he goes. Okay. So, about 70-ish%. You know, not the best I would have liked to have seen. Got kind of bad on time, yeah. You know, I can usually get an S rank on that, but it just ran a little long because it did some strange things here and there. Okay, so now we finally have a free path to go to the server room here.
Don't disrupt the students while class is in session. I believe you're familiar with the lesson plan. The same regimen you went through in Liberia. Effective program. Just look how you turned out. Of course, running it in the real world just got a bit too complicated. Doing it virtually, though, no fuss, no muss. Straight to the brain. It's like a dream. Well, maybe dream is the wrong word. They do kill some POWs, some civilians. They enjoy it, though. We give their pleasure centers a nice big jolt every time. Plus, they get a shiny new body as a graduation present. Another thing you have in common. I chose this. They're kids, you son of a bitch. And kids are cruel. All people are by nature. They just lose touch with it as they get older. Start thinking they know right and wrong. That's immoral. War crime this, code of conduct that. Kids, you can mold, manipulate into performing all kinds of atrocities. And there's nothing like a good atrocity to keep a war going.
That's why I'm shutting you down.
Huh. You just don't see the bigger picture, do you? Say you bring this whole place down. Waltz out of the rubble with all these precious brains. Nothing changes. All the guys in charge are long gone. We've got offices around the world. We're just suppliers. We don't create the market for war.
And who does? The Patriots are gone.
Those guys just manage the war economy. They didn't invent it. Did you think every battle in history was all part of some big old conspiracy? Bullshit! War is just part of who we are. Why fight it? Anyway, none of this will matter in 3 hours. Demand for PMCs is about to skyrocket. Like the good old days after 9/11.
What are you talking about?
Not here. Follow me.
Raiden, get Sundowner. Do not lose him this time.
It's an interesting little speech by Sundowner there. You can tell he's probably not the nicest guy we've ever met. So there's just a couple little things here in the server room we want to take care of before we actually chase after Sundowner, who of course went back through that door. We want to kind of make our way back through here. We can head over to the left if we want. There's an item box. Nothing too, super important in here, but get some BP anyway. Then we also want to head around the other side and start kind of making our way counterclockwise around the room. Because some of these doors that I'm going through are actually closed, and we need to get past one of them in order to get to something important. So we're going to kind of have to run around the room here on these pipes, and you can see this is the door that was closed, so we can open up this blade mode box, and we get another data storage. So you can tell we're at 17 out of 20. We're pretty close to getting done with them, but that's not quite a sign of where we are in the game, I promise. So now that we've got that, we can just make our way forward. And one more thing to get before we actually continue. Another VR mission. Okay, and now we make our way up here. And, oh, I want to grab it just because I saw it. It's just an EM grenade. I don't need it, but I want to get it. Then we can make our way out. And if you remember, like I said at the beginning, you're going to have the boss fight on a skyscraper rooftop. And for added bonus, it's storming as well. That's like, the best way to do it. If we look over here to the left, there's another humanoid gecko. This one we cannot actually get over there and fight. There's an invisible wall here. It looks like it's connected by these poles, but, unfortunately you can't use them. So we kind of just have to, wrong button. We kind of just have to get out our rocket launcher and take him out this way. So it takes a few shots. It might actually take all 5. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. It just took 3. That takes them both out. You get a little bit of BP, 198, I think it was. Yeah, oh wow. I'm surprised I remembered that. So, not super worth it, but if you've got the rocket launcher ammo to spare, you might as well. Alright, so Sundowner is obviously waiting for us just ahead. So let's cross the little walkway here and make our way into a very nice atmosphere for a boss fight, don't you think?
How's this, Jack? We can play up here without damaging the merchandise.
What happens in 3 hours?
Don't matter. You're too late. Even at Mach 2, you wouldn't make it. And killing you is gonna take some time. Slow and painful. Suits are cool, Jack. And I'm very in touch with my inner child. You can be cooler than that, Jack.
So you knew it was coming, boss fight with Sundowner. Straight away, we're going to have to parry here in order to get this nice little action command. If we do that, we can actually cut off a couple of his shields. And at this point, I like to get out the homing missile because he's also got this... oh, he's pretty close to me. He's also got this helicopter that's flying around. He'll also usually kind of sit in his shield there for a while, so that'll give you a chance to take it down. That one's like really weak compared to other hammerheads, just like one shot and it'll go down. So at this point, he'll kind of put up his shield. If you actually strike it, it'll explode and do damage to you. So you want to cut it just along the seam there where it indicates, and that'll let you cut off another section. So he's down to the last two. You kind of want to be a little wary of like just doing combos on him from the start, because he can't just put up that shield and then you know you'll take damage straight away. There he goes. So we can slice off the last two here. So now he puts him together and then goes into his real form. This guy will go down really quick if you know what you're doing. You can basically just get a bunch of combos in on him. And you can also counter a lot of his attacks if you know the timing, and that'll actually, help you out quite a lot because he'll just go straight into a defensive state. Now when he does that though, you kind of have to wait about a second and then dodge, either that or just run out of the way, because that'll do damage and you can't parry it. So just wait for him to charge up. You can see, though, we're doing a lot of damage to him. This guy goes down fast if you're able to just stand toe-to-toe and get a lot of hits in. You can see he's already way far down. And if you do this right, you can take him out really just, in a matter of minutes. It's not too bad. We'll also, at this point, go and reach for that pillar. So I'm going to actually try to just take these two guys out because I really don't want to have to be dealing with him while he's swinging that thing around. Let's see, where's the other one? No, might be down. Alright, so yeah, this thing's obviously got a lot of reach. So whenever he swings it, just do a parry. And if we do this, I think it's 3 times, it should just break. So it's not too bad.
Time's over, Jack. Time is down.
So now we're in control of this slider. We can kind of control where we are in terms of left and right, up and down. We can also rotate by using the right analog stick, and it's super helpful to actually get into this orientation. You can also fire some missiles, and try not to run into those, but if you do, no big deal. Take a little bit of damage. It can be kind of hard to see what's coming up. I like to just kind of keep spamming missiles, so like sometimes it'll hit things that get in the way, so it can be a little bit helpful.
What happens in 3 hours?
He'll launch Operation Tecumseh.
Who? Armstrong?
I've already said too much. I have a call to make.
Got yourself shaving?
Asshole. He's good. Real good. You knew this would happen, didn't you? Well, you get your wish. Up to you now. Sam.
Raiden here. I've taken Marshall HQ.
Yeah. I have just entered Denver airspace. I will be there soon.
Hurry.
Raiden, what Sundowner said.
I know. Anything that'll rival 9/11 cannot be good.
And in 3 hours, maybe less. He said even Mach 2 could not get there in time.
If he was serious, that's over 4,000 miles away.
4,500. So whatever it is, it's not happening on American soil.
If it's gonna spike demand for PMCs, it's gotta be a political hotspot. A coup or civil war in a stable region wouldn't have a domino effect.
And they'd want to draw in a superpower. No.
What?
The president. He's on his way to Pakistan. If something happens to him there...
Oh, shit. The War on Terror Part 2.
Contact the military.
Official channels are frozen since Mexico. Unofficial channels will take too long.
Besides, what's our proof? Who's gonna believe us over World Marshal?
Then we have to get there first.
Невозможно. Impossible. It is the other side of the planet. Even if we were in the world's fastest jet right now, it's not even close.
Hold up. It's not a jet we need.
Courtney?
An RLV would make it with time to spare.
That's...
Mach 23 if we're talking 1 atmosphere. 17,650 miles per hour.
That would make Pakistan in under half an hour.
Right. Contact Solus.
And there we go. That's the finish to File R04. Sundowner is a relatively easy boss, if you ask me. Probably one of the easier ones in the game. You know, at least especially if you know how to do it. You know, chop off those shields and know how to dodge his kind of charge-up attacks. Really not too bad. Okay, so we suspect there's a plot to do something to the president who's arrived in Pakistan. So we're going to have to find some way to get over there at Mach 23, which is a little bit insane, but obviously that's something we'll have to find out about in the next chapter. So came away with a C. I didn't get a C overall, you know, like in any of those battles. You can see the lowest I got, there was like 4 Bs, 3 As, 2 Ss. So it's really the skipped ones, I think, that are hurting me the most. Don't really care about ranking, but it's, you know, it's just kind of a thing they show you, so you think about it a little bit, you know. Anyway, that does it for File R04. Sundowner has now been taken down. Sam is really the only one of kind of the big, you know, bosses you'd think of that's left. We've taken out Mistral, Monsoon, and Sundowner, the 3 winds of destruction, so we'll have to see where we go from here. However, we're going to take care of that next time, so... before we go, I actually forgot to mention this. We've actually unlocked a couple things. First, the cyborg body, the Desperado version, and also the Pincer Blade's Bloodlust, which were, of course, Sundowner's weapons. The Desperado body, I think, actually makes it less likely for you to be detected by Desperado enemies. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but, you know, generally not worth it. And, of course, the Pincer Blades we'll have to check out in a later part. So this time, for real, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.